All right, I'm here with the grumpy gamer himself, Ron Gilbert. How you doing, Ron?
I'm doing good.
So you guys are showing the cave here at PAX. It's kind of an adventure game in platformers clothing, you know? I mean, you play it by running left and right and jumping around a lot and stuff, but the puzzles are very much like, you know, find this item and use it on this other thing and kind of like off-kilter logic stuff. Did you set out thinking I want to make a platformer or thinking I want to make an adventure game?
Yeah, I definitely wanted to make an adventure game.
Okay.
I knew it was definitely a hardcore adventure game. But the thing I wanted to do though was I wanted to make running around fun. Because if you go back to a lot of the old point-and-click adventure games, you spend a lot of time just walking from one side of the screen to another. And so I wanted to do something where it was fun to move. You know, I think that's where a lot of the really good animations come in with the characters, because they're just fun to watch. And so as you're walking around, you know, that into itself is a fun activity in it.
Right. So you've got this game with 7 different characters, but you don't play as all of them. You could have any weird combination. Like, was it hard to build a game where any combination could apply?
Yeah, it was. That was probably the single hardest thing with the game, is really thinking about that you've got these different characters. And, you know, we do a lot of stuff where, you know, characters can solve puzzles in different ways, and trying to think of like, well, you know, here's another solution that the hillbilly can do, or here's a way the hillbilly can do something that means there's a whole bunch of puzzle solving you just don't have to do if you have the hillbilly. So we do a lot of stuff like that. Plus, you know, inside the cave there are these entire areas of the cave that are themed for the characters. So for the hillbilly, there's this whole underground carnival that you come across. And so there's a lot of designing, you know, those types of things into it as well.
Okay. Are those areas you're only going to see if you're playing as that character?
You will only see them fully. So if you don't have the hillbilly, you'll kind of see pieces of this carnival or little peeks into the carnival. But because you don't have his special ability, you can't gain access to the carnival. So we'll definitely be teasing all that stuff as you're going through it.
Were you designing a lot of the puzzles yourself, or was it a collaborative effort? Was there like a grab bag, everybody throws item names into a hat and you pull them out and start sticking them together? Like, how did that stuff get designed?
Yeah, no, I didn't do it all myself. There was another designer, JP, and he and I worked closely, and another guy. And so, you know, we did a lot of, you know, design brainstorm meetings where we'd spend, you know, 3 or 4 hours in a room just coming up with all sorts of puzzles, and then kind of culling through them and figuring out which ones were working and not working. So, yeah, I mean, I think in designing adventure games is always a collaborative effort, because you just need a lot of brains thinking about all these weird puzzles and coming up with stuff.
Sure. Do you feel, I mean, you know, you're not done with the game yet, but do you feel an attachment to these new characters you've created? Do you feel like there's, like, I hate to say franchise potential because it sounds so shitty and businessy, but you know what I mean? Like, are these characters that you feel like you've created with a long future ahead of them that you could kind of parlay into other games?
Yeah, I mean, I spent a lot of time in these characters. You know, I started out, I had a whiteboard in my office, and I had about 30 characters written up on it. And it's like every day I just kind of go through and think about their stories and their backstories and what their, you know, special skills were. And then, you know, I'd cross them off the whiteboard. So, I mean, I feel a lot of invested in these, you know, these 7 characters. And yeah, I mean, it'd be great if they, you know, went on and did other things.
Cool. Well, you mentioned you guys are pushing toward beta now. Do you have any kind of rough time frame of when we're going to see this thing?
It'll be out in early 2013.
Okay. And no sleep until then?
Yeah, no, none.
Cool. All right, Ron, thanks for your time.
Yeah, thank you.